Welcome to the Mindset by Design podcast with your host, the expert Andy Murphy, where you will learn the tips, tricks, and strategies he teaches his world-class clients to give you the skills to dominate any business.
What's going on, Mindset by Design crew, and welcome to episode 297. Hope you're amazing as always. Do you know what? I was sitting here and I'm obviously looking at the numbers. We're up to 297. We're close to 300. And I was thinking, do I bring on a special guest for 300? Do I do a review of the past X amount of years? What do we do? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously I've been putting out the best ofs, and yeah, the feedback's been great. You've loved these episodes, especially for you new listeners. Do you know what I mean? Who haven't been around here for years and years and years. I mean, some of these concepts are brand new to people. We're all getting different people, different entrepreneurs at different levels of the business, from startups or corporate, moving to the idea of exploring a startup, or moving into the online space, or moving into, well, the self-reliant freedom space, right? Not caught up in the 9-to-5 world. And there's just so many different entrepreneurs at so many different levels growing their business, you know? But each one of them's got some things in common. And the commonality is they understand that everything in business and life is about how your brain is programmed. Plain and simple, what chemicals are being produced, what patterns are playing, what software is installed in your unconscious mind. That's the difference that makes the difference. And I've seen this behind, let's say, thousands and thousands and thousands of clients. We've done well over 1.5 million downloads on the podcast. I've spoke all around the world. I've looked into the minds of some of the best in the world, from billionaire royalty to startups to world champions to everyday people just trying to get themselves switched on to be able to go and kick ass. And that's what I do. And that's what the podcast is. So it's hard to really bring in all the aspects for everybody. And obviously this podcast is sometimes a little bit more technical than a lot of other ones out there. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing, because this is about mental performance. This isn't about self-help, right? There's enough watered down nonsense out there that you can go and listen to, that makes you feel good. But what's the point in feeling good if you don't have the tactics to consistently feel good and also perform in every other area of your business and life? It doesn't matter, right? We can get pumped up by a YouTube video or buy a course for $7 and think that we're moving forwards, and we get a little aha, that little moment where everything makes sense. And then guess what? Well, you're just dealing with the conscious part of your mind. So what does that mean? It means that you're not ever going to create permanent change. It's just what it is. The secret sauce is the unconscious mind. The secret sauce is that software and knowing how to repattern memories, how to change the focus and structure of what is automatically playing. How do you switch on to be your best you in seconds, right? How do you switch on to that world-class you in seconds? Think about that, right? How do you deal with constant performance pressure? How do you deal with being able to sit down at your laptop and just literally you have to get that product done or that course out or whatever it is, yet you don't have any motivation. You're stressed out, overwhelmed, right? Everything in your head is going wrong. So how do you then switch on? Because you have to. That's the difference, right? That's what makes someone a world champion. That's what makes someone cross that finish line. And that's what makes someone win. That is not personal development, right? You are going to develop yourself as a person, but my stuff isn't about that. It's about working with really brilliant minds and making them more brilliant. And if you're listening to this and you can understand my accent, then you're doing well. And it means you're one of those people. You know what I mean? It's a case of there's enough fluff out in the world that I don't need to make it. I don't need to make it. I need to make something that's tangible. And that's what the podcast is all about. So I want you to treat it, Mindset by Design, a little bit different. Especially if you're a new listener, I want you to treat it like a library. Go back and pull out episodes that the titles light up for what's going on in your life and stop putting them together. I've had so many people build their own basically little course to help themselves through even episodes of the podcast before they've even connected with me or one of my courses, or etc., etc. So I want you to do the same thing, because what we're here about at Mindset by Design is about building new behaviors, building new ways of thinking, feeling, and acting, dealing with what? Well, we use NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I'm a world-class expert at. We use neuroscience. We use gamification, behavioral psychology, anything that is going to create the change that we want at the highest level. So, sprinkle of spirituality? Absolutely. Bit of quantum physics? Absolutely. All of that is just a perception of how you see the world and how you perform. Beliefs, right? So I want you to take your life serious while having fun. Why? Because if you understand how to control your mind in any aspect under any pressure, then guess what? You win. Like it? Good. Today's episode's a little bit different. I'm going to blast through some quotes. That's it. That's all we're doing today. You've had so many amazing episodes recently. I just want to keep one nice and simple. And I hope that you'll go back and listen to these episodes, because we have 296, which is motivation from Steve Jobs, Stephen Hawking, Gandhi, Bill Hicks, Elon Musk, Michelangelo, and even my grandma. So go and check that out. Another episode from the best of Mindset by Design is 10 life lessons from Mr. Joe Rogan. And then I hope that you're heading over to the episode before, which is Jay Samit, and why the Pope, Steve Jobs, and Richard Branson asked him for help. And so many others. He's actually mentioned in Steve Jobs' autobiography. So go and check that out. We had the episode before that. We had UFC Bruce Buffer. The commentator. Guess what? He was on there talking about Conor McGregor, business and travel. Guess what? Person before that, we have Ben Greenfield. Yes, Mr. Ben Greenfield, multiple time on Joe Rogan podcast, but again, one of the top health and fitness guys in the world, and you can learn his morning routine. So go and check that out. I can keep going and going and going, but you know what to do. Go and listen to him. And speaking of going listening to stuff, listen to me right now. And then you can listen to yourself to take action, because you should be heading over right now to the show notes. Yeah, head over to the show notes, because whether you're in my group on Facebook, you should be. We've got over 3,000 people in there. Come and hang out. Or driven entrepreneurs, or creating success, and you can be part of that. So you should be. Simply type in Andy Murphy Mindset in Facebook. You will find me, or head to the show notes and get the link. The other thing you should be doing, everybody should have their morning unconscious mind switched on, lighted up, and ready to go. And guess what? Right now, you can do that for free. How? How, Andy? How can I do that for free? Really easy. Go to the show notes, or go to firemind.me. That's it. Go there. That'll give you access to everything. But I want you really to go to those show notes, because there's a link I want you to see. And it's firemind.me/apply for Firemind. Apply-for-Firemind. Or go to the show notes. And remember, you can always connect with me anytime, any place. Make sure you're heading over to Instagram. More importantly, head over to LinkedIn. And more importantly than that, head over to the group on Facebook. We have just soft launched the Firemind Formula, which is, I've worked out something in the industry. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on what? Well, courses. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on mentors. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on trainings. And the thing is, with the masterminds, you never get to meet the mentor. With the digital trainings, you never get to meet the mentor, right? Unless you're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars to meet that expert and do private sessions with them. Well, what I worked out was this problem. So I brought together something called the Firemind Formula, where it brings mastermind, mentor, and trainer at the highest level into one place. And that's for you. That's for you. So go and check that out. Firemind /apply-for-Firemind. Beautiful. So I'm going to jump into the show. It's a little bit different today, but going to run through some quotes, going to give my opinions, but I want you to always be thinking about your business. So head over to those links, and I will see you at the end of the show. So crew, here we are. You can relax, you can chill out. This is a little bit obviously a different episode. You've been used to, ranting on it a different way. But today you can just relax because we're going to go through some quotes, as I say, and make sure that you're thinking about your business all the time with these things, because there's some brilliant quotes. But remember, what we're doing with quotes is it's like it makes you feel good in the moment. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But also we want some aha perspectives. Great. But then we want to look at how you can apply that into your actual business to create change right now. Because remember, every part of your business starts in your what? Imagination. It does, right? This microphone that I'm talking on, everything starts in your imagination. So does a business angle, a perspective, a sales position, right? The way you see the brand, the way you see the future, the way you see money, income, lead generation, how you're connecting with that audience, the message behind it, the mission behind it, the overall purpose behind the brand. All of these things come from your imagination, including the way you communicate, right, with your team and with yourself. Besides stepping into actual peak states, which people don't understand because they're really flow states, how to step into flow states and drop into flow within minutes, and how to really fold time. So things that would take, weeks can take you days. Do you know what I mean? And that is what mental performance is. So why I want to just give you quotes today is I just want you to feel good. Yes, and feel good so you can make changes. That's it. So the reason we do quotes is because it's like snapshots, screenshots from incredible people. And it's like having a little screenshot in their mind. Just that one moment. Just like a picture, right? A photo. A photo doesn't show what's going on. A photo shows a very specific scene and second, a moment in time, right? It doesn't show what's happening to the left, the right, or behind the camera, right? It just shows what's there. And that's how I see quotes. Doesn't mean that you even like the person, but what happens is they're brilliant. They're brilliant thinkers. They're brilliant at what they do. So if we can take a glimpse of that, what happens is it's called modeling. And what modeling means is we can start to adopt those beliefs, behaviors, so we can think, feel, and act more like them. That's it, right? And that's how we build ourselves into the ultimate version of us. It happens in layers, it happens in patterns, it happens in decisions, it happens in moments. And when you really understand that, everything changes. Cool. So the first quote I'm just going to, I don't know how many we'll do. We'll get through a few, So the first quote I want to bring up, I suppose, is, if you can dream it, you can do it. Nice and simple. Who said it? Yeah, Mr. If you can dream it, you can do it. Who said it? Walt Disney. Think about that, right? And again, with Walt was such an imaginary thinker, such a futuristic thinker. It doesn't matter, again, if you have personal beliefs about Walt Disney, because there is some shadiness with him. But I think his vision and his concept was absolutely incredible, right? But again, he didn't do it on his own. Did you know that? Yes, he had his brother. And his brother was the COO, basically. He was the sequential thinker behind the scenes that was the operations, right? So Walt was allowed to be the visionary, and again, their communication. So if you can dream it, you can do it. Imagine him dreaming about Disney World and the characters and what it's did he even think what's possible in Disney right now, Because Disney owns everything. It owns everything. So think about that. If you can dream it, you can do it. So he had to dream that first character. He had to dream that first movie. He had to dream the relationship and communication and the business with his brother. He had to dream himself into that future to run that level of business. It doesn't just happen by accident, right? It doesn't just happen by accident. So my question to you is, what are you dreaming about your business and life right now? Is it what you want? Or are you focused on what you don't want? Because if you're focused on what you want, then guess what? We're able to activate dopamine. And dopamine means we're excited to move forwards inside of our own business. So which way are you focusing on right now? Okay, so quote two is pretty cool. Real old school. I don't actually know this gentleman. His name's Johann Wolfgang. But this is a quote. It's as simple as you get, but it's as powerful as you get. And then we'll talk about it. But he says, knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. I'll say it again. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. So you might be going, that's stupid, Andy, of course. Right. But understand what that really means from a social experiment of people today, right? Think about this. Again, knowing is not enough. We must apply, right? So applying what? Well, the thing is, right now in the world, Elon Musk has quoted this not a few weeks ago, right? He said that you can literally learn anything online. You don't need a degree or a qualification anymore. You can learn anything at the highest level online. It's true, right? So everybody who's born these days and they want to move into business, what it means is that they have access to information that really was only kept for the elite and the rich 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It was. This information about money, mindset, about all of these things, it didn't exist, right? To the general public. It didn't. But these days, guess what? With the way the internet, communication, instant feedback, everyone these days has all the responsibility in the world to learn anything that they want if they want to learn it. But again, what do most people do? Well, they don't apply it. They know it's there, the information. They might even read a course and do a course and pay lots of money and think that you've moved forwards. But it doesn't work like that, right? It doesn't work like that. So willing is not enough. I mean, we must do. And I see that time and time again with clients who are starting businesses, right? And I show them and we build and we get everything aligned, the brand, the messaging, we get the avatar dialed in, we get everything on point for them to move into the next section of their life. But guess what? Those resistance patterns come up because we're stepping into the new. And when our brain steps into the new, an alarm system goes off. Wah, wah, wah. Are you safe? Are you safe? That's what's going on in the brain. And what most people do is they sit there going, I don't know. I don't know if I'm safe. I just don't know if I'm safe, right? And then they do what? Well, they freeze. They don't do anything. And so the difference between someone winning and not winning isn't just competing in the race. Well, that's part of it. It's you must do that extra 1% that's required, right? So you can have the knowledge, but you've got to apply it. You know you've got to be willing to do it, but you've got to do it. So my question, what is it in your life right now that you've been putting off that you know you need to get done that will create a massive leverage and momentum in your business and life? What is that one thing right now? Think about it. I love this quote. Maybe we'll do about 5 of these, right? Maybe we'll do about 5 of them. So this is number 3. So this one's really cool. And it's by someone you might have heard of. Aristotle? Yeah, I think you might have heard of Aristotle. But this quote's cool. Because Quality is not an act. It is a habit. So I'll say it again. Quality is not an act. It is a habit. It's the truth, right? It's the truth. So quality is not an act. It is a habit. And do you understand about habit formation? Okay, habit formation happens through micro decisions, right? Micro steps. That's how neurology or your brain software starts to connect, okay? It's through micro decisions. So if you start to understand that every single thing that you're doing is a micro decision, then you have to link them all together to create the habit, right? So you sitting down at your desk at a certain time each day, well, that's great. And that starts to form a habit. But what can we add to that? So we sit down at our desk, we've got a certain drink, we've got a certain view, there's a certain type of music on, you have certain pictures that motivate you, you have music that's playing, as I said, you've got maybe incense burning before, there's a certain routine that you do to drop yourself into state, maybe you've got binaural beats on that changing brainwave frequencies, we're firing anchors, all of these things that I teach. But it's a case of that routine then becomes a habit of how you step into flow, right? How we fold time, all the things I spoke about before. But when you start to understand that quality is not an act, it's an habit, right? And habits are like muscles, right? If we don't keep pumping them, they get small and weak, right? That's the same thing with every area in your life, your business, every area in your life. Quality is not an act, it's a habit, right? It's a badass quote, right? It's damn cool. So where in your life right now are you performing and you're kicking ass at? And what is it about that scenario that gives you confidence in your skills? And how can you take that confidence and those skills and apply them in different areas of your life? That's it. That's it. Quality is not a habit. Quality is not an act. It's a habit. That's why it drives me crazy. Fake it till you make it. No, you should not be faking nothing until you make it. You should be being that version of you until the reality around you becomes what you want, right? So you live as that version of you who's already achieved now, right? So what does that mean? Oh, we just sit back, Andy, because we've retired? No, it means the discipline, the focus, the belief systems, the communication, the networks, right? That is what takes your game to a whole new level. And that is what you should be doing in every area of your life. Hope you're liking these. Hope you're liking them, right? So let's jump to number 4. I love this one too, by Carol Burnett. Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. Pretty simple, right? Pretty not rocket science, right? But only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. I love this quote for a few different reasons. Lots of people who think they are in growth mode, they're not. They're not in growth mode. Well, they're kind of in growth mode, but they don't really know what they're growing into. What it means is that they're on a dopamine hunt or an endorphin hunt to make themselves feel good from external validation. Do you want me to say that again? They're on a dopamine or an adrenaline hunt. Why? For external validation to make yourself feel good. That's it. So what happens is, this is why back in the day before COVID, right? BC, before COVID, it's all these pump up seminars. Great, they're great. You will get pumped up. You will feel good. And then you'll come out of that event and what will happen? Well, the neurology or the software or the mind muscle is big, thick, and strong, and it's pumping. That's why you feel different. Guess what happens? You step out into the world. Does the world care how good you feel today when you didn't yesterday? No. So everybody treats you as you were. And what happens was the old neurology or mind muscle is big, thick, and strong. So what happens? That old software gets lit up again, and you go back to the old habits. So then what happens? Well, you want to go and do another pump-up seminar because it worked. You had great success for a few days. You had great success for a few weeks, maybe even a month or two. But the truth is, unless we keep that neurology pumping, that mind muscle pumping, the correct pattern, right? It's like hitting to the gym or like going to see a personal trainer. That personal trainer will show you exactly what you're supposed to do. Are you going to do it? Sometimes not, right? Well, that's the same with mental performance and business, right? I call it neuro-conditioning. We have to condition your brain and who you are to do what, right? To perform a certain way. And just like sports, just like playing poker, just like whatever it is, right? Mastery is a set of learning skills. And so is mental performance. So with that quote, only I can change my life, no one can do it for me. What does that really mean? It means take full responsibility. Take full responsibility for your life, for your vision, for your day, for your communication, for your network, for your hustle, for your results. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. If it takes an extra few months, who cares? Who cares? Is it done yet? No. Is it done yet? No. Is it done yet? Yes. Ta-da! That's it. The thing is, everyone thinks that everyone's watching them. No one's watching you. Nobody is. I'm telling you. No one's watching you. Even if you've got millions of followers, still no one's watching you because they're watching someone else with 1 million followers and someone else with 10. No one's really watching you. So it becomes your responsibility. I was going to use another word after it, but that's it. It becomes your responsibility. So that's why I love that quote. So where else in your life and business right now that you need to take full 100% responsibility for? Ask yourself. Okay. Here we are at number 5. Let's just do 5. I'm going to do a little drum roll for you, you know. So number 5 is a really great quote, and it's by Eleanor Roosevelt. So, with the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. I'll say it again. With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. That's simple, but think about what that really means. Yesterday could have been horrible for you, right? Things could have gone wrong, your leg could have fallen off. But at the end of the day, today is today. That's it. What's that got to do with tomorrow? What's that got to do with yesterday? Nothing. So tomorrow might be rubbish, but we don't know. Yesterday, well, that's done. So now becomes a decision. And the decision is to take action. The decision is to step up. The decision is to go and get it. That's it, right? So if every day with your routines and systems and techniques and being able to change your nervous system and be able to change your brainwaves, being able to change your beliefs and focus about money, yourself, the future, the past, the projects you're about to do, right? All of those things start in the morning where we change our nervous system and we light up the software that we want to play or pump, the mind muscle, right? This changes a whole experience of the day. It changes a whole experience of the world. It changes a whole experience. And this is why each day comes a new strength and new thoughts. This is also why you've been around me a while, then you know I love birthdays. And it's my birthday a couple of weeks ago. So we love birthdays, we love New Year's. Why? Same reason. It gives us an opportunity to wipe the slate clean. It gives us an opportunity to put a new movie in with a different ending we haven't seen. Does that make sense? So when you start to learn this and understand this, with the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. Today is today, so it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Let's get it going. Let's do this. So crew, There we go. There we are, the end of episode 297. Hopefully you got something out of that. There was some old school cool quotes, but I really want you to make sure that you're applying it in your own life. And maybe this is an episode you want to listen to again. Maybe it's an episode you want to share with a client or a friend. But it's definitely something you should be re-listening to and thinking about those key points. Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of key points, make sure you are doing what? Yeah, heading over to the show notes or heading over to Andy Murphy Mindset. Type that into Facebook. You'll find my incubator group. What else will you do? Yeah, go to firemind.me and do what? Well, get your morning switched on for free today. Also, I want you to check out the Firemind Formula, the world's first high-level mastermind mentoring training in one place. So I want you to check that out by going to firemind.me/apply for Firemind. Apply-for-Firemind. And or go to the show notes. But either way, make sure you're hanging out with me somewhere, connect with me somewhere, or send me a message. But until then, you have an amazing week. It's time to let's do this. And until the next time, why don't you smile for me?
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy. We'll catch you next time.